It's Monday night, it's 7 o'clock, and welcome to Knightline Live. I'm Jerry Middleton. Along with me tonight, as usual, is Rick Fletcher. And Rick, a beautiful day out today.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Just like Friday night at football, Jerry, down at Knightstown. Winter has settled in upon us. It was cold, man. I tell you what. You know, especially a couple, 3 days before, it was 85 degrees and beautiful and sunny, and all of a sudden feels like it's about 32 degrees. The wind is blowing and howling and just miserable day.
And it was too.
It was cold. It just kind of goes right through you. So, but I know you and I, we were there Friday night.
Yeah.
We were hardy and we were there. So we'll talk about that later. We got a lot going on with this show. We're in for a lot of teams. It's playoff time. You got sectionals are coming. We've got tonight. We have a couple guest segments. First one's going to be the cross country team. Our guests will be the coaches Tyler Hostetler and Eric Nolan. They're in the green room right now. Eric's shining his head, getting that ready to go, getting his makeup on, making sure he looks good.
Well, we may have to change camera angles for that.
Well, we might have, the lighting has to be adjusted. That's what we'll have to do there. So we'll talk about another championship team, for the Knights cross country.
Just keep on rolling, don't they?
Well, can you say dynasty?
Oh.
I mean, these guys, at least on the boys' side, these guys have been a dynasty. They've got quite a thing going on there, and they're hoping to continue that on. So we'll talk about the runners. I guess that's what you call the runners, not players, okay? Right. So we'll talk about the runners on cross country and what their prospects coming up this weekend are. We'll talk a little bit about the Tri-Eastern Conference Championships that they ran in over the weekend. And it was probably chilly when they got out there. They usually get going about 9 or 10 in the morning. I bet it was probably pretty cold. So we'll have to ask the guys, how was the weather?
It was cold.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it had to be cold.
Well, and you see cross country what they dress in, right?
Yeah.
They're not all, they're not all bundled up. They wear shorts and tank tops. We're also going to talk to Matt Fisher.
A little volleyball.
Volleyball sectional start Thursday, right, up at Hagerstown. The Knights defending sectional champions, so they're going to defend their title. We'll have Matt in here for a little segment. We'll go over the season. Really, volleyball, Jerry, kind of different from last year. They started strong and kind of sustained it throughout the year. They had some dips. You're always going to have some dips, but they sustained, pretty good performance. So, whereas last year, they toward the middle of the season, right on into sectional and regional, that's what they started picking it up, and they were able to carry that momentum on. So, we'll talk to Matt about how his team's feeling and what he thinks their prospects are. Of course, we all hope they're going to win, right?
Oh, absolutely. All 300 and some schools.
Yeah, they all
starting tomorrow night.
So you say there's a chance. Is that what you're telling us?
There's always a chance.
There is a chance.
There's Hoosiers.
Yeah, and you and I, we're volleyball junkies. We love volleyball, and so we'll be looking forward to that.
Well, speaking of volleyball, a little story we were talking about earlier.
Go ahead.
That Coach Shondell at Purdue invited my wife and me to come up.
Now, a very famous name in
volleyball.
Indiana volleyball.
And so he's the Purdue volleyball coach. So we go up there, and I had no idea where to park. So we pull in this little lot. It's supposed to be for John Purdue members.
Well, it sounds like the place to be.
The place to be. And I am not a John Purdue Club member. My wife is not.
You probably got to write a pretty good check to be in that club.
Probably. And so he looks at me and he goes, "Don't you do a podcast for a high school?" I said, "No, we do a live stream that we do every week." He goes, "Yeah, on Monday nights." Since I watched it a bunch.
Really?
He says, "Just go ahead and park over here."
Oh, wow.
So I was like, "See, fame and fortune from Knightline Live."
See, got you that $1.50 parking spot right
I'm
up
telling
front.
you, it's on top of the world. I was after that.
Well, so you parked with the mucky mucks then.
So a big shout out to Lou at Purdue.
If he's
Thank
watching
you.
tonight, Lou, send us. If you're watching on YouTube, you can comment, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a big tech guy, so I don't know how this works, but Facebook you can comment. I'm assuming on YouTube you can comment. So Lou, send us a comment. So we appreciate you giving Jerry that parking spot. My guess it was more than $1.50 to
It
park
probably
in.
would have been.
Probably. And Purdue, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
all the-
big time volleyball.
Big
They-
time volleyball.
Yeah.
Ranked 15th in the country. Played Iowa,
Yeah.
and it was a good time. We had a lot of fun.
So I asked you earlier, when these Big Ten schools in volleyball, do they have their own facilities, or do they use basketball court?
Some of them have their own facilities, like Purdue does, and other ones will use basketball facilities.
Okay.
And so it's really hard to stretch. But here's the big rumor. You know, Nebraska did that
Outdoor.
at the football field,
Yeah.
92,000 people.
That's a nice gate if you're a volleyball coach.
Here is a rumor out there, we'll see how true it is, that Purdue might play at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Oh, wow. Well, that'll
Because
be.
they want to go for the record. So we'll just see. I mean, it's just a rumor.
Oh,
People are talking about it, so we'll see if there's any truth to it.
all right.
You heard it here first.
So we'll see if that
Yeah.
happens. Also, we'll talk a little bit of football tonight.
Yep.
Wes Solar's going to be on next week to get more in depth. But, the Knights are coming down. Their final regular season game is this Friday night. It's going to be senior night. We just checked the weather forecast. It looked pretty good.
Looking good.
But, it is fall, so dress warmly.
Yeah.
Once the sun goes down, it does get colder. Now, we're into that time of the year. They also had their sectional draw. We'll talk about that a little
Yeah.
bit later, so they know where they're going for the first game of the sectional. We don't want to say a whole lot because, again, we want to talk when Wes comes on. We want to get more in depth. But that sectional, I don't know, Jerry. If there's ever a time, maybe now's the time. Who knows?
So it's a
right?
very favorable draw, so
Yeah.
we'll talk about that.
Yeah, now they're going to play Winchester, and
Yeah.
they're a good team. They've been
Yeah.
playing well, so we'll see how that goes there. So that's what's on tap for tonight. Let's take.
You've had a
And when we come back, we'll have Tyler and Eric, and we'll talk cross country.
and you're watching Knightline Live.
You've had a hard day at work, and all you want to do is sit in your lounge chair in the nice cool air? Then it hits! The AC's not working. The living room feels like the Sahara Desert. Call Reynolds Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. In just a short time, it'll be nice and cool. And then all you'll need is a sign that says, "No penguins allowed." Call 765-966-0994. Reynolds Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Proud sponsors of the Knights. Did someone say boom, baby? Call Scoretti Pyrotechnics at 765-977-2757. Scoretti Pyrotechnics has performances for birthdays, weddings, school athletic events, other occasions, and of course, the 4th of July. Scoretti Pyrotechnics are proud supporters of Knights Athletics. Boom, baby! Smith, McQuiston, and Webster Funeral Home has proudly served the Fountain City area since 1886. From the time you walk up the steps, Funeral Director Keith Webster's goal is to carry forward the legacy of personal service established by the Smith and McQuiston families. Using modern technology and good old-fashioned attention to detail, we will strive to earn your confidence in us by treating families the way we think we would want to be treated. Smith, McQuiston, Webster Funeral Home. Rick, thank goodness somebody called timeout because I am hungry.
I'm starved, Jerry. Hey, with 3 different Richmond locations and 1 in Hagerstown, here's a Subway sandwich shop near you.
And you can always order off the app for curbside pickup. The drive-thru's always open, and the way that I prefer it, I just like to walk in.
Here's your sub.
Listen, Subway, eat fresh.
Go Knights!
All right, welcome back to Knightline. That video montage was courtesy of Dejo Photos, one of our gold level sponsors. We want to thank Dana and Joetta Harris. They're at every athletic event around, so if you need a photo, call them. I don't know their number right now, but it's on the commercial, so write it down next time. We are very happy to have Tyler Hostetler and Eric Nolan, the coaches of the cross-country team. I would say, at least on the boys' side, guys, a dynasty is amongst us. So
We're trying.
all right, Tri-Eastern Conference champions again for the fourth time in a row. That feels pretty good. So start with you, Tyler. Talk about the meet and what went into that. What goes into preparing for that is what I really want to know.
Well, really, it starts as soon as the last meet was over last year. We're planning on conference. There was a lot of the boys, now seniors, that you had on a couple weeks ago.
Right,
They
yeah.
were, as soon as we were done last year, okay, we want that next one, and preparation starts then.
Yeah.
Really. The meet itself went well for us, obviously. It was a little closer than we would have liked. But that always, that adds some fun to it as well. But, there was always things to improve on. We had a lot of season bests and personal bests, but, there's some things that didn't quite go our way. We got, lucky here and there, but the boys ran their tails off and got it done.
All right, and you still won, right?
We still won.
With all
That's
the things
right.
that went wrong,
Yep.
you still won. All right, let's talk about the girls a little bit. Eric, tell us about the girls. There's a lot of improvement we've seen from over the last years. Tell us what's going on
Well,
with the
we were
girls.
excited to have 5 runners this year. So
Well,
we
I
could
mean, that's
compete
been a
as
problem
team.
from years past, right?
There's plenty of girls walking those hallways that
Yeah.
would be very helpful
Absolutely.
if they would just give
All
it a
right,
chance.
Let me put my plug in right now while we're all watching. I do this every time you guys come on. We've had you on quite a bit here. Every time I come on, especially now, guys too. All right, if you're not in a fall sport, let's say you play basketball or baseball or some other season, I tell you, cross country is where you want to be because you number one, you might be good and you don't know it. Okay, these guys will coach you up, and number two, the more the merrier, especially on the girls' side. We need more girls. And my guess is there's probably a lot of girls walking the halls here who could be good, and they don't know it. They really don't. So, all right, now that we've gotten that commercial, our annual pitch to get the girls out there. So tell us about the girls and what, number 2 in the conference,
Yep.
which is a great
Second in the
accomplishment.
conference, which, huge. Got bright future next year and even beyond with the middle school numbers that we got for the girls' side. Heather Crawl, everybody knows Heather,
Yeah.
finished 3rd all conference, and then Gracie Green was 7th. So 2 all conference runners. So
Talk about Heather. A lot of improvement in cross country from her this year. What do you attribute that to, or what does she attribute that to?
stronger mentally and physically.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That's basically it, right?
That's basically
There
it.
are no secrets in preparation and that type of thing.
No, she was just from the get-go, just stronger mentally and physically.
All right. Well, good for her. Hopefully, she'll take that. I'm sure she'll take it right into wrestling season. So, she is a wrestler. That's her main sport. And really with cross country, so what if it's a secondary sport? It's a great sport. And what I've noticed about cross country over the years of observing, a lot of camaraderie. Parents, coaches. You guys all know each other. You all got your canopy set up,
Yeah.
and when you go to a meet, it's like a celebration every weekend. So,
Most of the guys from the last 3 years were even there.
yeah,
Sorry.
okay. Supporting their team.
Mm-hmm.
They want you guys to continue winning that conference championship.
So how many guys do you have on the boys team?
We were at 10 this year.
At
Yeah.
10, and just to help with the people out in the millions and millions of viewers,
Or maybe 400.
give or take a few thousand, maybe, I don't know.
And Lou from
And
Purdue.
Lou from Purdue. Only 5 score.
5 score, 7 will run at these bigger meets at the end of the year.
And so when you say 7 run, then you've got 2 people out there that I call spoilers. That if they finish in front of a team's 5th runner, 1 place, even though they got 5 runners in front of them, that could be a difference in the scoring.
Yeah, no, that's huge, and that's one of those things that happened to us on Saturday. Hagerstown was number 2, but they had a couple guys in front of our number 5, and it was, that could have been the difference. Thankfully, we had, still ran right behind them and didn't lose too many points there, and it worked out. But yeah, we've had it go the other way. A couple years ago, our number 6 guy won it for us. So
Are you guys, when the meet's going on, when the race is happening, and really it's 20 minutes and you're done, right?
hopefully a lot less than
Well,
that.
a lot less, but within 20 minutes, everybody's cleared the area. Are you guys calculating? Get your calculators out, and you're getting reports on who's where, or how? I mean, are you running around? I mean, you're not always in the mix. I mean, sometimes you can't see them. So.
All of the above.
Yeah.
So you're calculating who needs to be where and how you need to get that done. So Tyler, tell us about some of the guys you got. Who are your 5 guys that top?
Our top 5 Saturday was our seniors. Logan Smith was
Right.
third overall. We had Nolan Drake right behind him in 4th, and then Lucas Chamness, sophomore, stepped up really well, and then Bryson McFarland
Right.
was our number 4, and then Dalton Justice was our number 5 on the day.
Okay, so Lucas Shamness, he's made some strides, it appears, this year. So who are the other runners on the team?
Nick Markward, his first year runner as a
Okay.
sophomore. Brent Benjamin, Cooper Klein, who's been out with a back injury, and Kobe Williams, another senior.
Okay, all right. So what?
And Zach Kirchhoff, sorry, he's a new guy too as well.
All right, we don't
So-
want to forget him.
No, don't want to forget him at all.
Anybody
No,
else?
he's done fantastic.
So let me ask you, in a regular season meet versus like a sectional meet, and we'll talk about sectionals here in a second, but you mentioned in a regular meet, can you run everybody? And sectionals or a conference championship, you're limited on who you can run?
Yeah, typically we run all those big invitationals on Saturday mornings
Yeah.
all season long. Not like the old days where we used to run dual meets and 3 ways in the middle of the week. They limited us usually to about 12 runners,
Okay.
which is perfect for schools our size and everybody else in the conference. We sit around that number.
Yeah.
Typically 10 to 20, about everybody's got. So yeah, we're limited to 12, and then in the conference and sectional we're limited to 7. In the sectional meet as well, we're limited to 7 runners.
And
So.
it's all that the things that Jerry was discussing with you, that strategy and who's where. I mean, there's a lot of strategy that goes into that.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you. So you're Logan Smith. Let's take Logan as an example. Not just to pick on him, but all right. So he's out there on the course. Does he know what he needs to do? Is someone communicating to him, or is he's focused on what he's doing right there?
Oh, we get them prepared, Rick.
Okay.
They know what they're supposed to do.
All right. I mean, as far as the strategy goes, like if I pick up one more spot, I can, knock out the guy behind, or something like that. Or,
Yeah. You should have looked at our locker room this week. They knew where they're supposed to be.
All right. So you guys talk all about this during the week, or before the meet, or
Yeah.
in the morning,
Yeah.
or that type of
All of the above.
So
Yeah.
how much are you allowed out onto the course? I mean, are you allowed out on the course and say such and such? You got to pick up 2 spots. You got to pick up 2 spots. I mean, is that
As long as we can get there, we can talk to them. Yeah. As long as we're not impeding any runners, we're staying off the course and not running alongside them. We can't pace them or anything.
so?
like
You're
that.
not allowed to go out there and move the sign and say,
Right.
"Turn here." Can't do that.
It may have been done once
Well,
or twice.
see,
Who
now
knows? Who
that's
knows?
that's just not fun.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah.
So, because I know golf is like really stringent what they can say, what they can't, and I just didn't know what.
Yeah, as long as we're not pacing, that's the biggest thing. We can't say, hey, you got to meet us over there in X number of seconds or whatever. We can't do anything like that.
Oh,
But,
really?
yeah, but other than that, we can coach them up as much as we can.
Huh. That's interesting. Very interesting.
Well,
right
there's
there.
only 2 of you guys. All right. Can you enlist the help of parents, or?
Oh yeah. Well, and like Eric said, we had a bunch of alumni around, and especially during the girls' race, we had them, hey, go in the woods and make sure they know this, and we caught them when they came out, and
Okay.
so like you said, divide and conquer. It takes a village.
Wow.
So
So there's a lot of strategy that
Oh, yeah.
goes along with that. It's not just get out there and run your fastest.
right.
Going back to golf parents have to sit there and go,
Right.
like, yeah, they can't say and they can't coach. So that's interesting right there. That's really different. of the two styles of the games that have to be played. Very interesting.
Grant Luby was there, and the Cateses were there, and
Okay.
Jackson Nagel was there, and Connor Osterman came, and
And the Cates, they've had some success over
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
years and
Yeah.
all these tournaments, right into sectionals.
it was a who's who the last 3 seasons.
Well, you've built a legacy, right? And these kids have left a legacy, and they want to make sure that legacy continues. And congratulations, it has. You guys are 4-time champion. All right, so now we're into fun season, or actually probably the Tri-Eastern Conference was start of fun season.
Yeah, that's day one of the season basically for us. What we look at
And
it
so
as.
now we're going into sectionals, and that is, where is that, Eric? I believe
Connersville.
Connersville, nice,
Yeah.
nice place to have it. I don't know anything about cross country, but it seems like a nice course to me, or a nice place to have a,
It's a nice course.
yeah.
Some hate it.
All right. Well, hey, if you win, you love it. If you don't, then that's the way it is. So let's talk about our chances on the girls' side, and what are you looking for, Eric?
Well, on the girls' side, just not quite there yet.
Okay.
Probably get us through as a team, unless everybody has
What's the parameters now to qualify for
top
the
5 teams.
top 5 teams go to the next level, which is regionals? It's different this year. Explain to us, Eric, the differences this year as opposed to
Well,
years
they dropped
past.
the semi-state.
Okay, so
So
now it's
They
sectionals.
made the regional bigger.
Okay, more teams means probably more bigger teams,
Yep.
and feeding into the regionals that you guys go to.
So it'll be regional straight to state this time.
Okay. All right. So again, talk about some of the girls on the team. We've heard about Heather and heard about Gracie.
Yeah, Heather and Gracie have a good shot of making individually at least.
Because
So.
you can make it as a team and an individual.
Correct.
Okay.
They take the top 5 teams, and then they changed it to the top 15 runners. It's not on a qualifying team this year since
Okay.
it's bigger. So.
All right.
Oh, that's good.
All right. So who are the other girls besides Gracie and
Well,
Heather?
we got Bella Stoops and Daisy Spence, and then Sam Whalen.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
And we need more, right?
We need more.
If you could double that number next year, would that make you happy?
It'd be pretty cool.
Well, they give you some competition,
Mhm.
right? I mean, competition makes you better.
Yep.
It makes everybody better.
I'm just going to say, you girls get out there and run, because Rick's infomercial every year, we want to get rid of that.
Yes, we do.
But you get out there and help me.
Shut
Rick.
me up. Shut me up. Yeah.
No,
So
get out there.
if we have 10 next year, I promise I won't put together that little infomercial again. But they're out there.
They're
But
out
it's,
there.
but it's not that difficult to get to that point, because now you've got to that team point, which in the past was a real struggle.
Yeah.
To me, that's a major milestone that you got to the team. Now that
Now
now
the
the
next
double
hurdle, yeah.
is that next step to get 10 runners, and then you guys are on the road.
We need those girls to come in and help us take down Centerville.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Centerville's got a strong girls cross country team.
absolutely.
So, and they have been strong for quite a few years, I think. So, well, there's the target right there. You got to shoot for something, right?
Correct.
So, all right. So, what about on the guys' side? What are our hopes, dreams, plans? Tyler, for the guys? I mean, they've gone to. Did we win the sectional last year in the guys? I
Yes, we
believe
won the
did.
last 2 years.
2 year. All right, so 2-time, no pressure. Okay, 2-time defending champion, sectional champions. Okay, how are we going to get that third three-peat?
That one's going to be a little tough this year
Okay.
with the expansion of the sectional as well as the regional. And we're a no-class sport,
Right.
so
oh, yeah.
we run everybody. We have
big schools,
big
small
school. We got
schools.
Richmond, Newcastle, Rushville, Connersville, of course. Batesville got added in. A couple other East Central. It's another
Now in the
bigger
regional,
school.
you'll see bigger
And then we get
schools.
into the Indianapolis schools, Carmel's in ours, Zionsville. Those kind of schools are
Yeah.
our regional now.
All right,
um,
so our prospects for the sectional. What
Yeah, we're looking pretty good shot at probably third on the
Okay.
boys' side, which is it's just still great. That'll advance us to the regional.
Okay.
And against it's looking like probably Richmond and Batesville up top there, but still beating the likes of Rushville and East Central. So still playing with the big guys, which is
Okay.
good. Yeah.
And those schools are a lot bigger than
They're a
us.
lot bigger than us, so we can still play with them, and we can be in the heart of it. Third, I'm happy with.
All
I'll
right.
take that. Of course, we want the championship, but
Sure you do.
we'll settle for going to regionals.
So
So
how many schools in the sectional?
I'd have to count now. I think it's they expanded. It's like 12, maybe.
Okay.
Something like that.
All right, so that's this Saturday, October 14th in Carnersville. And what time and who runs first? They separate the girls from the boys, right? So the girls first.
No, boys first year. We rotate that every
Okay,
year.
so what time will
Boys
they get
first
up?
at 10:30, I believe.
10:30, and the girls maybe an hour after.
Yeah,
that?
11:15. They did 45
11:15?
minutes after. Yeah.
Okay, and hopefully it won't be as chilly as last week.
Hey, we like it cold.
Yeah, you like it
Saturday
cold,
was
right?
about perfect.
Yeah, all right. So you want
cross-country
cold?
running.
You want 40 in the 40s?
That high 40s is about perfect. Yeah.
All right, no wind though, right?
Yeah, I got a little windy during the girls' race on Saturday, and that made it a little tougher. But
So as a runner, I'm assuming, because I used you might not know this, but back in the day, I ran. Okay, of course I was a little bit skinny, a little lighter, but you didn't mind the cold weather. It was the wind that got you. So
That's absolutely right.
So cool with no wind, and that's what they're hoping for. 10:30 at Connersville High School, and it is at the high school,
Yep.
and that's where it's going to be. And they do a good job down there putting on a sectional. They've done this before, so
Yep.
this is not their first rodeo. They'll accommodate you. The school will be open if you need to use a restroom or whatever. They'll probably be selling something, that if you need a snack or whatever. So if you've never been to a cross-country meet, this would be a great meet to get to. It's not too far away. 10:30 in the morning, you can get out of bed on Saturday morning and be there by 10:30. Probably be there about 10:15. All right, don't get there too late, and go cheer these guys on. And well, you never know. Maybe it's a three-peat, right? I
we're
mean,
gonna try our best.
Sometimes the buses break down, mysteriously. So, but you never know. So.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for coming.
Thanks
We
for having us.
wish you the best. Congratulations on the four-peat in the
Thank you.
Tri-Eastern Conference, and hopefully be a bunch of girls wanting to run cross-country, starting the day after the season.
That's right.
They'll call us. So, Jerry, anything else for the good of the cause
No,
here?
just good luck, and you guys are doing a fantastic job with stuff, and it shows by the increased number of participation not only in the high school but in the middle school, and just keep on
Consistency.
rolling. Consistency.
That's what you want, is consistency.
Yeah.
And that's what you guys have produced. It's very consistent. I know it's been a struggle in the girls, okay, but hopefully you get over that hump, and then we'll start seeing maybe you can take down Centerville and get that conference championship and go on from there. So we'll hope.
We hope. Well, hey, Eric and Nolan. Eric and Nolan. I had Drake on my mind. Oh, so Eric Nolan and Tyler Hotstetter, thanks for joining us here. And you're watching Knightline Live, and we'll be back in just a little bit after these messages with Coach Matt Fisher.
At Kate's Family Eye Care, we value a family-friendly atmosphere, offering high-quality eye exams. Our expert staff utilizes the latest techniques in eye care. We have a large selection of affordable glasses that are unique to our area. We are proud supporters of the Northeastern Knights and wish all the teams the best of luck.
Go Knights!
13,000 feet has a way of testing a man's soul. After all, you were never meant to take on such an endeavor. That long drop is what separates human from superhuman. That fear is the only enemy, the only thing keeping you from feeling that power in your bones. And here we are, right here, right now. Let's fly.
You're good at motivation, we're good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
KOA Exit 151A, registration and the general store. It's a family-owned campground with pull-through parking for RVs or travel trailers with full hookups. Rent a cabin, relax at one of the fire pits, or picnic by the pond. A playground for the kids, or Get in around the golf before dinner. Take a water-soaking hayride. Lay out by the pool, and then take a dip.
Do you have a big event coming up soon? Dejo Photos has you covered. Check us out on Facebook. We are professional photographers who strive to capture all of your special moments, such as family portraits, senior photos, live action sports, graduations, and so much more. If you don't think photos are important, wait until they are all you have left. Contact us via email at info@dejophotos.com or call us at 765-277-0047. Dejo Photos, capturing memories one photo at a time.
Coming together every day to make a difference for you, for me, and everyone in between. Because at Dot Foods, when we celebrate each other's differences and work together to make the community a better place, we become great together. At Dot Foods, what matters to you matters to us, where communities matter. Dot Foods.
All right, we're here at Lincoln High School where the Lady Knights just defeated the Lincoln Eagles 3-0, and they are the sole survivor in the Tri-Eastern Conference, the first conference championship since 2009. I'm here with seniors Emma Neely and Lily Null. Emma, I'm going to talk to you. You're a killing machine out there, but first, hey, conference champions, how's it feel?
It feels great, especially for our team. I'm so proud of us. We worked so hard this season, and I can't wait to see what run we go on in sectionals.
All right, Lily, so same with you. You guys have been around for a long time. You've had some ups and downs. Talk about this year and how special it's been for you guys, especially your senior teammates.
It's just so special because all our seniors get along so well. All our team gets along so well. Everybody's just so supportive. We play as one. We are one. We pick up each other when we're down. We pick up each other when we're good.
All right, so I want to ask both of you guys, honestly, compared to last year when you went on that run, last year you kind of picked it up in the middle and went forward. This year it's been right from the beginning of the season. Has that been hard to sustain that kind of intensity?
No, I definitely think it's more momentum. Like, we want to obtain that record. We want to do good. So I feel like us staying strong is definitely a boost to all of our confidence, too, as well. And I feel like we're definitely ready for sectional time now.
All right, Lil, we got one more tournament this weekend, okay? When you're seeing this, that tournament will be done. But after that, we got sectionals. What's your thoughts as we head into sectionals?
Play hard, play together, be ready for anything. Just don't overestimate the other team. Don't overestimate your opponents. Just stay ready.
All right, that's Lily Null and Emma Neely. The Knights are Tri-Eastern Conference champions for the first time since 2009. We will have every game of the sectional on the Knights Broadcasting Network starting Thursday night at Hagerstown. Game time's at 7 o'clock, so be there. Get in the gym. Let's get these girls pumped up. And this has been Emma Neely. Yes, exactly.
Against Knightstown at Hagerstown High School at 7 o'clock.
Be there, be square.
Yeah, be there. All right. That'll do it from here. Back to you guys in the studio.
And we're back, and this is Knightline Live, and we're having a good time here with Coach Matt Fisher from the girls volleyball team. And Matt, thanks for joining us, and we appreciate you being here. And Knights are off to a 20-7 start.
Yep.
And which is really phenomenal. Playing a lot of highly ranked teams. Again, this weekend you played Adams Central, who's ranked 8th, and I think you played 4 or 5 top 10 teams this year.
Yeah, I think all the teams we played except for Alexandria over the weekend were top 100 teams if you put all the classes together, and that's kind of the level we want to show we can compete at and stay at. They had some comparable finishes, but came up short in all 3, and then played our potential against Alexandria to get that one win. And at that point, we just talked about let's get to 20 wins this year. You know, we can pick up one here this season. So yeah, 20-win season, undefeated at home this year, and then obviously undefeated in conference too. Were all check marks for us of improvement and continuing to build as a program.
Oh, I want to congratulate you guys, and I didn't realize this, but my wife looked it up. This is the 4th Tri-Eastern Conference Championship for Northeastern, the first sole championship. The rest were shared.
Oh, that I did not know.
Well, that's the internet doesn't lie, Matt. Okay,
Awesome.
so that's
Awesome.
and I was surprised by that. You
Yeah.
know, I haven't been around that long, but hey, congratulations.
Thank
That thing's been in the domain of Hagerstown and Union County for so long that finally somewhere else it goes, and we're happy to bring that trophy here
Yeah.
to us. I want to talk about that a little bit in that Lincoln game, the atmosphere, because it was their senior night.
Yeah.
They had a big crowd. It was good atmosphere right there. That's what you want to see in a game that's going to decide a championship.
They bring a student section every year that's deep, and they're into it. And then obviously the emotion that carried over from senior night
Right.
and coach's speech. I don't think my players want me to do that in front of everybody. They probably realize we'll be there much longer. But, yeah, I mean, to win in that environment and not play our best volleyball, I think right out of the gate we had 4 or 5 missed serves in the first set.
Right.
And we were able to, I think at one point I told them, like, you know, we've missed 5 serves and we're right there. So let's put the pedal to the metal. And they were able to pass well enough to get the hitters involved and then just took advantage on the net. So, yeah, I was really impressed with that win that evening. And obviously to close out undefeated in the TEC and first ever sole possession,
Yeah,
that's something to put in our cap and hopefully move forward.
No star beside that 2023 team.
That's
Did you know that, Jerry?
I did not know
See,
that.
I do my homework.
Because
We
I
do
know
our
in
research.
09 it was 1 loss. That was the Union County, and I think
They probably shared
I think
it.
Hagerstown beat Union County that year. Centerville beat Union County.
Could have been
and
a
it was a
three-way
three-way
tie.
tie. Yeah.
So give us a synopsis of the regular season. All right, now we're here. We're heading into the most wonderful time of the year. Sectional start this week, but you know, give us the synopsis of this team right here and the progress that we've made and things we need to work on. Or you tell us.
Yeah, I think early on in the season, I wasn't surprised because I knew what we could be as a team, but I was a little surprised at how well we started off and how good the chemistry was given some of the new positions people were in. But as that carried through, and obviously we had a lot of early success, we knew we needed some teams to kind of match that level. So obviously some of the TEC games on the road and then the 5-set environment we were in with Union County really played a big part in kind of understanding where we were, what we could be as a team, and what we needed to work on. And then some of these invitationals the end of the year, Eastern Hancock, and then this weekend at Union County, and not to mention the Wayne County tournament, all environments that we want to play in and have some success, and we have. But I think, you know, if there's an area that we have to rise in, and it's against that sort of competition, we have got to be able to handle another team that also has 2 or 3 really good attackers and defend. But at this point in the season, I think defense, continuing with rallies, and then, you know, being a little more aggressive on the serve. I think something you pointed out over the weekend that was right on, you know, because I think we had a little better not just trying to give the fastball every time earlier in the year and getting a little more float on the float serves was a good observation by you, Jerry. But also, more than anything, we got to get our offense a little crisper. I think we've had some good offense, but we've also had some missed timings in the middle and communication errors with the setter. And then we've also had, you know, our outsides like to run that rip ball in between the block, and then they like to go out and run the 4. And I think sometimes there's some communication. You'll see Emma be a little slow on something, or Lily have to adjust last minute, and they got to communicate better with Olivia, and Olivia's got to have something set. So it's a two-way street we're working on right now to communicate a little better, but I also think we're trying to get some bread and butter things that when we're in this position, we're going to run this for X amount until we switch it up. So I think everybody's much more comfortable with their roles at this point in the season. We can go 9 to 10 deep at least. And getting help off the bench with Addie Kircher or Reese Dumford, and then obviously the role that Grace plays in for us as a serving specialist right now, and also she's huge coming off the bench in any other way if we need to hold her back. And we've gotten some help with Emma Bledsoe-Ryan behind the serve line as well. I just feel like we have options at this point in the year, but we also want to tighten up some of the stuff we've done really well. So that's what we're trying to work on this week. Trying to, the adage, take it one match, one game at a time. But it's tough to not look ahead at the weekend knowing, kind of how things played out last year.
Yeah. All right. So I want to ask you, preference-wise, a lot of teams front-load their schedule. We kind of backloaded a little bit. Played in a four. We had 4 matches on the last day of the regular season, where other teams might play those toward the beginning of the season. Is there a philosophy that goes, or that's just the way the schedule goes?
I've definitely been on the other end of it. In my time previously coaching at Richmond, we were really front loaded. I think we had about 12 matches, while we probably have about 4 here during that time. So I prefer to have things later in the year. It gives you times to gel a little more. If you need to adjust things early on that you don't like, it gives you the time to do so. So I definitely like our schedule in that way. I love where Union County is for us, because that's when you want to play those teams going into the end of the weekend. And every team on our side of the bracket over the weekend went on to win their match when they faced the other side. So we definitely kind of had the cream of the crop.
Right.
And that's what you want. So I think that timing is perfect. I think if there's anything we talked to Jerry Kiesling about, was maybe adjusting that Eastern Hancock, and if we can get something equally as competitive and get that in August, that would be great.
Okay.
That way you're not feeling some of that burden of playing so many times in September. And then if we can get Tri-Village to show up and get that match to work out, we love it. But if not, getting something earlier in August would be good to help us there too. Because with losing the Eastern Hancock, I think we lost a team there,
right.
2 teams.
We lost a couple matches.
Which that was a match we would have played, and then not playing to our potential. Maybe at Wayne County, that's another match we could have picked up, and then Tri-Village. Those are 3 kind of we lost this year. You want to play out your schedule a little more. But in terms of the setup, it gets a little hectic in September for sure. But I'd rather be playing more at the end of the year and reaching our potential at that time.
All right.
Well, you've talked a little bit about some of the people coming off the bench, and all make great contributors and so forth. One of the big things I'd say for looking at next year is the fact that you have a setter in place that you've got for 2 more years.
Yeah,
which is, to me, is bigly huge.
Yeah,
that's a big, because setters are like your bread and butter.
Definitely.
And you got to have, if you got a good setter can make an average hitter great, and an average passer great. And I think that you have that in her, and the potential is just still climbing the ladder.
Definitely. I mean, the thing that Olivia does for us more than anything is she's just steady. You don't see a lot of reactions. You might see her and Lily get into a conversation or 2 on the court.
They're sisters. What else?
But other than that, I mean, she's just so steady for us. So, you love that about a setter, and that brings a calmness to your team. But, we also have, and I'll continue to say this, it's early, we just have so many options. She could do that role again next year and play it to a fiddle and be fine. I still think if we had or needed to, we could run a 6-2 with another setter. I think Addie Kircher's developed and continued to develop in our practices this year, but she also is a great libero. So to have 2 girls that could be a libero, could be a setter, but also Olivia could probably hit and pass for us again. Her passing last year was huge.
Oh, it was a big deal.
So trying to figure that out when you have those skill sets that's my job. It's a tough job, but it's a blessing to have them too, especially, and then not to mention some of the others that we have coming back and some of the new ones we'll have coming in to join that group. I think we'll have a special bunch again, and a group that can build on some of the things we've started, but also bring their own identity. I think defensively, there's not a lot of balls that touch the floor when that 2 sides up in practice. When you have Adeline Capps and Emma Bledsoe-Ryan defending with Addie Kircher and Reese Dumford, and any of our middles on their blocking, they put up a really good show every day. So they're excited to get more time and support our team the rest of the way this year too as well.
Yeah, we still are in this year, by the way.
We are.
We're getting into fun season now. By the way, we're going to have every one of those sectional games on the Knights Broadcasting Network. starting Thursday night, right? Thursday
Thursday
night.
night.
Tip time or serve time, or what do they call it in volleyball? Serve time.
Serve off.
Ball goes up.
Ball goes up.
Ball goes up at 7 o'clock, so we'll be on the air probably 10 minutes earlier with our Dots pregame, and we'll be there Saturday morning for every game, and hopefully the Knights. We're homers. We admit it. We appreciate good play for wherever it comes from, but hopefully the Knights will be hoisting that trophy at the end of the night. We'll come back, have a little celebration, getting ready for regionals. So, Matt, I don't want to get ahead of myself here. You don't want to look past the first game.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's easy to do, because Nicetown's kind of struggled this year.
Mm-hmm.
However, they look like they were getting better.
Yeah.
So you got to get past them before you get into Saturday. So how do you keep your team focused? Thursday's the game right here.
I think, the good thing about having teams in your sectional that you played previously, and obviously a couple that are in our conference, is, we've played them. So it's not taboo to talk about teams you played before.
Yeah.
It would be a little strange if we're talking about them before we've ever had a chance to play them, but we can recount things that they do, and they also do some things the same. So there's things that we have to watch out for. We talked today, certainly. I don't think we're giving away any strategy, but the teams we played over the weekend are going to not tip as much or go to some areas as we might see from Knightstown, Hagerstown, and Union County. So we just have to be alert to those things and help each other. But in Knightstown, you have a team that's going to be hungry to prove that the first time was a fluke. And then in Hagerstown, you're going to have a team that is hungry to let us know that we're playing at their place this time around.
Right.
Even though it's a sectional game, that is certainly an advantage. And maybe they think that the first time was just because it was home. And then Union County thinking the same thing. That was certainly a close ending to that match. So all those teams are going to be coming with something to prove, but I think we've had a target on our back all year, and I don't think it'll be any different come sectional. I think our girls will be ready to match the competition in front of them.
I've heard that all year long, Jerry. Target on the back. We've been saying that all year. There's no sneaking up. Last year maybe there was that little bit of sneaking up, but this year it's absolutely, you guys have that target on your back, especially winning the conference, and this is basically almost a Tri-Eastern Conference sectional here.
Yeah.
Everybody but Shenandoah, I believe, is in the conference. So, but get to hoisting that trophy. What's the one thing or couple things that you can tell us without giving away the farm? Okay, what can you tell us so that we'll say if we're doing this, we'll be hoisting that trophy at the end of the night?
First ball attacks out of serve receive. If we're getting first ball attacks and we're hitting clean, even if we're not getting kills on them, that bodes well for us. We usually get a pretty good free ball back if we don't. And that also allows us to be a little more aggressive with serving. I think last time we played Union County, for instance, we had 9 serving errors and they had 2. That's a big discrepancy, but at the same time, I can live with that if I know a lot of our other serves that are inbounds are pushing them out of system. So I think good attacking off the first ball, and then certainly when it's not there for us, sending it to the other side in the most aggressive way possible. I think we've probably made a mess more than most out of third ball attacks in the net or out of bounds, and we have to do better because those are all easy points. I think the girls are starting to realize where they individually give points away and where they need to work better. But if we're on the attacking and we're winning things at the net, that we have to do that to win. We know the other team's going to rally and play a lot of defense, so we got to put the ball away when we get our opportunity.
We talk a lot on the show about playing out balls.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing as when you're on offense and you're hitting to the other team. You got to keep that ball within 6 inches. Make them make a decision.
Yeah.
And because we see a lot of times they make decisions, the ball's coming at their face. Now I got to make a decision, and then it deflects away. And that's the same thing. And so with that on the defensive end is obvious out balls you can't play.
Yeah.
And give that up.
Yeah, getting back to your base position, especially our middle back, so they know if that ball's above their hips, it's likely to be out.
Yeah.
And then, same thing as our wings play the side of the court, kind of knowing when it's out for sure. But I think we are much improved defensively. We've definitely had longer rallies as the year's gone on. Our blocks are starting to put an end to some points. Still some deflections on the block, but I know we're going to have that throughout the course of the year. just getting touches to slow the ball down, and then finishing offensively and going on runs. Like we are our best, as are most teams, when they're going 4 or 5 runs at a time, and then we can stop the other team in one, and we're always trying to do that throughout the course of a set.
One of the things this year I'm pretty impressed with is how well that our outside hitters, weak side and strong side, are taking the ball off the outside arm of the blocker, and ricocheting it out of bounds, or pushing it off of that to go out of bounds off them. I think there's been a lot of big time points in crucial parts of the match that's happened.
We're much better this year at not avoiding the block and kind of taking in. That was really a point of emphasis today in our practice for our middles, who are very effective with the tip and getting different angles. But just be aggressive and don't let that double block slow you down. If you see a little sliver of light in there, a seam you can drive the ball in, or a weak hand that's off the net, then feel free to do so, because that causes a lot of disruption. I know good teams played that against us last year when we were struggling with blocking, so we got to take advantage there for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, we're probably at the end of this
Time
segment.
flies, doesn't it?
It does fly. Matt, appreciate it. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
I know
Thanks for having me on.
I'm fired up, man. That's
Yeah.
all. I'm hoping for the best, but you got to come out and play.
Yeah,
That's all it's going to take. All right, I'll take us into commercial here.
You're on.
We want to thank Matt Fisher again. Thursday night at Hagerstown. You guys get down there, fill the place up. Let's go. Come on, let's go. It's time to go. And then if they win, they go on to Saturday. And I say again, fill the place up. If they win on Thursday, 12:30 on Saturday, you can sleep in still and get there. Okay, so let's fill the place up because these girls deserve it. All right, we'll be back. We're going to hear from our gold level sponsors. We'll talk a little football. This is Knightline, and we're live.
Coming together every day to make a difference for you, for me, and everyone in between. Because at Dot Foods, when we celebrate each other's differences and work together to make the community a better place, we become great together. At Dot Foods, what matters to you matters to us, where communities matter. Dot Foods.
Dreaming of having more space? With a mortgage from First Financial, you're golden. We keep things simple with friendly, personalized service from application to closing. We'll help you find the right mortgage loan to fit your unique needs. Plus, you can qualify for relationship pricing with an eligible checking account. And since we live in the communities we serve, you can count on our local knowledge to make sure the pieces fall into place for an on-time closing. So stop dreaming and start moving with First Financial Bank.
First! Harmon sheds are custom built to your specifications and needs. But wait, there's more! Harmon sheds build privacy fences, decks for your pool, beautifully designed decks for all around your home, and detached pavilions. Let Joe and the crew do all the work, so all you need to do is relax.
Welcome back to Knightline Live, and Rick, I think we'll talk a little football here real quick.
Well, freezing football.
Football.
Up in Knightstown, the Knights went up there, and they basically, tough night to throw the ball, so the running game was, on fire. So Knights win 42-6, just kind of what you think they had to do to, I think an improved Knightstown team. They were a lot better this year.
Oh, absolutely a lot better. They come right off the bat and kick a field goal, and go up 3-0.
Yeah. They actually kicked a couple field goals, and the conditions were not very good.
No, not favorable out there.
No.
I wasn't favorable, I'll tell you that.
But the Knights pulled away, and they got the win, and they got out of there, and hopefully nobody got hurt. So this Friday, it's senior day, senior night. They'll be honoring their seniors. Hagerstown's coming to town. The last game of the season. Sectionals are coming. Next week, Jerry, West Soul is going to be here.
Yes.
And so we'll break everything down. We'll break down the season and sectionals. We'll talk about all that next week with football. We'll get into a lot more depth, or a lot more in-depth next week. So, but is that, as usual custom, we're going to go to about probably an interview with Wes. Now, mind you, we were both freezing to death, okay, because it was cold, and but he hung in there probably for about half the time that we normally do. So let's go to that. Then we're gonna go to commercials. We'll come back and we'll wrap up and tell everybody what's ahead. So let's go to that. This is Knightline, and we are live. All right, we're here at Knightstown. The Knights just defeated the Panthers 42-6. This is the First Financial Bank coach's comment. First Financial Bank in Richmond. Go see Beth Beatty for a new mortgage or to do a rewrite of an old mortgage. All right, I'm here with Coach Wes Oler, and I have to say, Wes, we're freezing to death right now. So, hey, good night to run the ball.
Yeah, it was much windier than we thought it was going to be. I knew it was going to be cooler, but did not anticipate the wind. It made it hard to throw. We got stuff blowing across the field. I mean, the ball is rolling. They can't even set the ball for play because the wind's rolling it. So I thought we did a good job. We know we have to win. We have to run the football to win games. And as we get into the tournament, our running game is a huge part of what we do. So it was a good night to work on a lot of that. It's frustrating for the receivers and the quarterback. They want to sling it around a little bit, but Indiana, high school weather at the end of this season like this, and it is what it is. But I thought our kids came out strong. Defense played really well early. This is a much improved Knightstown team. Coach Taylor's doing a really nice job.
Yeah, so I could see Blake Waters out there. The ball was kind of floating, and there's really nothing you can do on a night like this, but could prepare for down the road what we're going to see. All right, we got Hagerstown in the finale. You got senior night. Tell me what's going on as we go into our last week.
Yeah, that's a big game. They your conference, all conference picks are based on how you finish in the conference. So they're trying to beat us and hopefully get up into that second place mix and possibly a tie for that. And they're a good football team. You look at their scores. They got kind of punched in the mouth last week against Winchester. So I expect they'll have played well tonight and they'll be ready to go against us. But they always play us tough. Coach Snodgrass does a great job, and it's a huge week for our seniors, but it's a huge game to get some momentum going into sectional and with the tournament draw on Sunday.
All right, we will have that game on the Knights Broadcasting Network on tape delay, so you guys can see that. All right, this has been the First Financial Bank Coach's Comment.
And we're back on Knightline Live, and I'm Jerry Middleton and Rick Fletcher. And Rick, off the air, we were just talking about cheerleaders won again.
Yep, they won again. Congratulations to them. They're coming up on their championship. Is it November 4th, which, if I'm doing the math correct, sometime after school vacation, they'll be going right to Newcastle to do that. So we are making an attempt to see if we can get Chelsea Wine on before that, and hopefully we can get her on. So next week, Jerry, Wes Soler will be here. We'll be talking a lot of football. We'll be breaking down the sectional for volleyball, see what's happening there. Hopefully, we're talking about regional. We'll see.
That'd be nice.
It'd be nice if we do. So we'll have this week for broadcast. We'll be doing all this volleyball.
So that'd be Thursday night.
7
o'clock is first tip, so we'll be on about 10 minutes early.
Right.
And it'll be you and me. And then Friday night will be football.
We'll have football with Hagerstown coming to town.
You and your son on that. And you guys do a great job, too, on that, by the way.
We're having fun. It is fun. That's why I say when Lexi's in town, I want you and her to do volleyball.
And so that's going to be on tape delay. And you show it at 10 o'clock the next day. Then at 10 o'clock on.
11 o'clock.
Is it 11?
11 o'clock is the first match.
Oh, I thought it was 10 o'clock.
11 o'clock. I could be wrong. Check the schedule, okay?
Yeah, check our schedule. But anyway, Saturday morning will be 2 matches.
2 matches.
At whatever times. We'll be on 10 minutes prior to. Now remember, each match is its own individual broadcast. So you may have to change to a different one. But those all be on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Just click on the links. And then Saturday night at 6 o'clock is the championship.
Championship match for volleyball. So we're all going to be busy here. So we'll look forward to that. And come on down to the gyms. Get out. Get to the field on Friday night.
Yeah.
Get to the gym on Thursday and Saturday. Really. It's exciting. This is a fun time of year.
Oh, it's a great time of year. And this is where everything is laid out. And he who does is he who wins, or he or she who does is she who wins.
Absolutely. So we'll look forward to it.
Yeah. Well, it's been a good night here.
It has been great talking with the cross country guys and volleyball. So good luck to all the participants, whatever they're doing. Good luck.
And we'd like to thank Kayla for being in here, executive producer
Kayla
tonight.
Kerr, she keeps us straight, Jerry. She really does. She's right on top of things. And you know what? You know what I like about Kayla? She's way smarter than me. She's only a sophomore, but boy, is she way smarter than me. And I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that's always good. And who knows, maybe she'll move on and be president of CBS or ABC or something, and this is where the start happened, right here.
Maybe she'll throw us $1 here.
Maybe they'll pick up our option for next year. Well, anyway, I think that's about it, and I think it's time for those famous words, Rick.
Good night, Gracie.
And for Rick Fletcher, I'm Jerry Middleton, and you know what? It's been another good night.